In life, there are moments when our emotional bonds with others can become too overwhelming, unhealthy, or painful. Whether it's due to a breakup, the end of a friendship, or a toxic relationship, emotionally detaching from someone can feel like an impossible task. The deeper the emotional attachment, the harder it is to let go. Yet emotional detachment is essential for preserving your mental well-being and regaining control over your life. Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, offers profound insights into the human psyche, particularly when it comes to emotional connections. Jung believed that understanding and managing our emotions was central to personal growth and self-actualization. His ideas on the subject of emotional detachment can be transformative for anyone struggling with letting go. In this video, we'll delve into two critical aspects of Jung's teachings on emotional detachment and how they can help us regain our sense of self, peace, and independence from toxic emotional attachments. By understanding and applying these principles, we can learn to free ourselves from emotional dependencies and build healthier relationships in the future. Before we discuss how to detach emotionally, it's essential to first understand why emotional attachments can be so difficult to break. According to Jung, emotional bonds are not just superficial feelings. They are deeply embedded in our unconscious mind. These connections are tied to our sense of self, identity, and our experiences of love and belonging. Jung famously said that the unconscious mind is like a vast reservoir of feelings, thoughts, urges, and memories that we are not consciously aware of. Our emotional attachments often come from unresolved unconscious conflicts, early childhood experiences, and our need for love and validation. When we become emotionally attached to someone, we often project aspects of our own unresolved inner conflicts onto them. This makes it difficult to separate our own unresolved issues from the person we are attached to, creating an unhealthy emotional dependency. For example, if you grew up in an environment where love was conditional or inconsistent, you may subconsciously seek out relationships where you have to earn love or approval, even if it's at the cost of your own happiness. The attachment you form with such a person is not based on mutual respect and love, but on a deeper unconscious need to resolve the emotional wounds from your past. This attachment becomes ingrained in your psyche, making it incredibly hard to break free even if the relationship is damaging. Jung also introduced the concept of projection, where we project our own unconscious desires, fears, and needs onto others. When we emotionally attach to someone, we may unconsciously project qualities onto them that we either admire or fear in ourselves. These projections make it even harder to see the person for who they truly are, and instead, we view them through the lens of our own unresolved emotional experiences. This projection clouds our judgment, causing us to hold on to the attachment, even when it's no longer healthy. Another critical aspect of emotional attachment is the fear of abandonment. According to Jung, many of us carry deep-seated fears of being abandoned, rejected, or not loved. These fears often stem from early childhood experiences, particularly with our parents or primary caregivers. When we develop emotional attachments, as adults, these childhood fears are triggered, making it even more difficult to let go. The fear of being alone or unworthy often ties us to unhealthy relationships, even when we know they are detrimental to our well-being. Breaking these emotional attachments requires a deep self-awareness and an understanding of where these fears and projections originate. By becoming more conscious of the unconscious patterns and needs that govern our attachments, we can begin to detach from them in a healthy way. Jung emphasized that self-awareness is the first step in this process, as it allows us to take back our emotional power and make decisions that align with our true self. Now that we understand the roots of emotional attachment, the next step is learning how to detach emotionally from someone in a healthy, sustainable way. Carl Jung believed that emotional detachment is not about suppressing feelings or simply getting over someone. It's a process of self-reflection, emotional integration, and ultimately, a deeper connection with ourselves. One of Jung's key concepts in this process is the idea of the shadow self. The shadow represents the unconscious part of our personality that contains our repressed desires, fears, and unresolved emotions. It's the part of us that we try to hide or deny, but it plays a significant role in our relationships. When we form emotional attachments, we often project our own shadow onto the other person, expecting them to fulfill emotional needs or desires that we have not yet integrated. The process of emotional detachment, according to Jung, begins with confronting our shadow, acknowledging and accepting the parts of ourselves that we've been ignoring or repressing. This process requires introspection and a willingness to explore the painful emotions and unresolved issues that we carry. Only by understanding and integrating these shadow elements can we begin to free ourselves from the unhealthy projections that keep us attached to others. Jung suggested a therapeutic technique called active imagination, which involves engaging with the unconscious mind through creative exercises like journaling, art, or meditation. By actively exploring our feelings and emotions, we can begin to uncover the root causes of our attachments. For example, through journaling, you might discover that your attachment to someone is not just about them, but about your unresolved fear of abandonment or your need for validation. By identifying these unconscious needs, you can begin to address them directly and no longer project them onto the other person. Another important step in the process of emotional detachment is self-compassion. Jung stressed the importance of treating yourself with kindness and understanding during this process. Emotional detachment is not about self-punishment or pushing yourself to move on quickly. It's about recognizing the depth of your emotions, understanding why you feel the way you do, and giving yourself the space to heal. By practicing self-compassion, you allow yourself the time and grace to process your emotions without judgment. The final stage of emotional detachment is embracing your true self. Jung believed that the path to individuation, becoming the person you are truly meant to be, requires integration of both your conscious and unconscious selves. When you emotionally detach from someone, you are not just letting go of them, but you are letting go of the projections, fears, and unresolved emotions that you attach to them. In doing so, you reclaim your emotional independence and strength, allowing you to form healthier relationships in the future. Emotionally detaching from someone is one of the most challenging but rewarding processes we can undergo. Carl Jung's teachings provide a roadmap for this journey, starting with self-awareness, confronting the unconscious forces that govern our attachments, and integrating our shadow selves. By doing so, we gain emotional freedom, allowing ourselves to heal and grow into the individuals we are meant to be. If you're ready to begin this process, remember, emotional detachment is not about erasing your feelings, but about understanding and owning them so that you can move forward with a deeper sense of self-awareness and peace. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into personal growth and psychological wisdom from Carl Jung.